Here's Cape Cod, Nantucket Sound, and Horseshoe Shoal is this horseshoe-shaped shoal in the middle of Nantucket Sounds, and it's open to the east. And the weather station is located on the southeast tine corner of Horseshoe Shoal. So we literally are about halfway from Nantucket and halfway to Hyannis. Cotuit Bay is over here. And we're sitting out on the tine of Horseshoe Shoal here, and we notice that the water towers are moving to the east because the current is pulling us to the west, and we are pulled toward Falmouth and Oak Bluffs of Martha's Vineyard. Lacking an engine, and with the tide taking us perpendicular to where we wish to go, we resorted to taking out from under the starboard bench a long wooden canoe paddle. We took turns with the paddle, pulling for shore, while the other steered the boat. Each turn at paddling was up close and personal with a tranquil sea. Drawing the canoe paddle into the seawater, the pale brown ash blade darkens to mahogany color before disappearing into shallow depths. Brown water becomes opaque 16 inches from the surface. This is disquieting because this should be blue water. Instead, I am paddling offshore 6 miles south of Cape Cod, halfway to Nantucket Island in the middle of Nantucket Sound, and this water is mahogany brown on an ash paddle. The sea water color is the direct result of nutrients, including phosphorus and mostly nitrogen. Nutrients are taken up by algae. Benthic animals in Nantucket Sound, the bottom fauna, suffers. Slipper shells, moon snails, spider crabs, and horseshoe crabs all host slimy filamentous algae in long trails off their topsides. Nutrient-fueled green slime is not a healthy environment for fish and marine life. Sea turtles pass through Nantucket Sound but do not dwell here and are rarely seen. There are those who worry about the aesthetic of Nantucket Sound being destroyed by windmills. I now worry about Nantucket Sound destruction by nutrient overloading. The waters here are so brown that outstretched fingers disappear from sight before my elbow touches water. Nutrient overloading causes algae to bloom, to reproduce rapidly. Sometimes the blooming algae consumes so much dissolved oxygen in seawater that organisms die. Water turns deadly brown, depleting even more oxygen when green slime decomposes into brown detritus. Devoid of oxygen, the area goes hypoxic, and an ocean dead zone is created. Fortunately, I have yet to find an ocean dead zone in Massachusetts waters. However, I fear this will only be a matter of time and effort of looking for stressed out ocean areas. The loss of offshore blue began on the shore, on Cape Cod and the islands. Much is being done by municipal and state governments to stem the flow of effluent from cesspools and septic systems. With each heavy rainfall, nutrients are washed directly from fields, lawns, and parking lots into waterways to the sea. More needs to be done to stem non-point source pollution with better buffer zones between lawns, impervious surfaces, and waterways. Buffer zones are needed between the domestic and the wild. The coastal waters of Nantucket Sound are protected from dumping by the Massachusetts Ocean Sanctuary Act. Unfortunately, for my right hand at the paddle's throat here on Horseshoe Shoals, the waters are not protected. Vessels are free to discharge effluent because these are federal waters circled by a 3-mile ribbon of state waters. So this is all state waters. Here in the middle, wild frontier middle, vessels dump whatever they please. According to recent complaints, public ferry boats going to and fro the islands are doing just that. To their credit, some ferry boat operators, such as the Steamship Authority, are taking steps, making the investments that will enable their vessels to cease discharging. To be in the middle of Nantucket Sound is to be in the nutrient-overloaded vortex of the rich and famous, ringed by mega McMansions and traversed by over-carbonated Tupperware toys. Construction vessels will soon join the fray to build windmills on Horseshoe Shoals. They, like everyone else, are free to throw their tea into this precious realm of ocean. How much nutrient loading can Nantucket Sound take? How much sliming of the Sound, desecration of the deep, before we act to reclaim blue waters once more? For too long, no one has spoken for the waters, for the ocean ecosystem so impacted and burdened by human waste. We can act to turn Nantucket Sound waters from brown to blue. Polluters will claim to not pollute is a hardship. They'll cry that this is government interfering with free enterprise. Great hardships are suffered by ocean users, the recreator and the worker. Yet, who is actually experiencing coastal waters when the polluter is squawking of government-caused hardships? Being federal waters, Nantucket Sound belongs to everyone to despoil and to no one in particular to protect. These are our natural commons, and without individuals speaking up, without environmental guardians, tragedies of the commons will continue. Being federal waters, these portions of Nantucket Sound can be protected from vessels discharging waste by legislation from Washington. And congressional representatives have told me that they would like to see Nantucket Sound so protected if only the local users can get it together. Together, we can clean the brown and bring back the blue of these ocean waters. If you would like to learn more about our efforts to improve oceans seamlessly linked to watersheds, visit us online at oceanriver.org. Opt in to receive ORIE alerts, or write to me at rob@oceanriver.org. In this episode of the Ocean River Shields of Achilles, we have learned about a watershed very important to me. In the next episode, I'll be back in a different watershed talking with people who know it best. We'll discover what is being done to better and restore an ecosystem. By thinking locally and acting locally, we become more global in our stewardship of the planet. Until next time, for Ocean River Shields of Achilles, thank you for sojourning with us in Cotuit Bay and Nantucket Sound.